because of where our roster is. I'll just say it like that. Our roster is not where it needs to be in terms of being a consistent competitor. Um, and we have a lot of young players that we're putting in a lot of key roles. I said that last year. I think the reason why we part of the reason why our record was what it was because we were counting on a lot of young people to you know what I'm saying. And I mean, when I say young, I'm talking about cheap labor, rookie contracts. We were counting on a lot of those guys to pan out for us. We were hoping JPJ panned out for us, rookie year. Thank God, JPJ is who JPJ is, and I think that he will continue to be that, and maybe be, get ready for it, because I think he might be one of the top centers in the league. We were counting on, our running backs to get it together, you know what I'm saying? And they were young. We were counting on Sincere McCormick and and UDFAs to handle, you know what I'm saying, a big load for this team. So we're young, and when you look at, I think a lot of people, overall in the census are worried about our corner room, and what is our corner room? Young.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the vet that's in there, I think he should be, just my personal opinion, the vet that's really in there, I don't even think he should have been on the team. And that's Darnay Holmes. So, you have a lot of young guys we're going to be counting on.
Darnay Holmes is going to take over that Hobbs position and slot. Like I said, people that overlook what he did. He's not as flashy. He doesn't tackle as well as Hobbs. I don't think anybody that's Hobbs can do that. But what I'm saying is that his stats were just as good as Hobbs was. Our problem with Hobbs was that he can stay on the field. We need somebody that's going to be out there, dedicated, because we don't need that play 4 games and you're out for 11 games and you're back in for the last 3. We need to have a good team. You got to be consistent with consistent players, and like my boy Jason said, head coaches consistently. Don't get a head coach for 1 year, 2 years, and fire them, and then try to do it again. We need to stay consistent. And as far as the young team, all right, well, we're young, good, that's fine. This, like I said, this is a tryout season for this season. I hope they win some more games than they did last year. But you're gonna see, okay, you know what? Next year, I know what this team needs now again. It's going like this. We got to improve on this part. This part got to be improved on that part. Free agency, draft. That's what we're gonna do.
And it's any, we know that it's also any given Sunday. So I'm not saying, I'm not saying I'm completely canceling out, the season, but I'm just personally, I'm more looking at this training camp. I'm looking more at this preseason, because again, because we're so young, and like I said, we were, another name that we relied on last year was Glaze, a rookie, and he panned out. So, and I think he might, he's on that trending just like JPJ, but they're all young, and because they are young, that's where all the young guys finally get there, get to rank themselves. And again, our head coach is the preacher and the bishop of this, and that's compete. So, it's gonna be competition, and I'm excited to see where these corners finally, shape up. I want to see where these linebackers finally, shape up, veteran and the guys that we drafted. Because I think with our linebackers, we will see competition even from the top side. You might not see a Landon Roberts, you may not see, I'll say Pratt, but behind all that, it is a competition. Devin White's going to be in competition. Michael Barrett's going to be in competition, and that's
Yeah.
and then the Berg brothers, you know what I'm saying? The Eichenberg and the Lindenberg is going to
Yeah.
be in competition along with Gainer. So I'm more excited for that section of the season,
Mm-hmm.
even more than the 17 or the 18 weeks per se.
Well, like I said, we don't know how it's going to shape up. Who's going to start? My thing is who's going to finish. But like you're saying, there's more competition than we had in the past few years. We had players that got to compete for their job. It's not like you come in there and you all want the presumptive starter. Because ESPN put a report like these are the presumptive starters for the Raiders 2020 season. That's going to change. Right now we know few positions that we know going to be the start. A quarterback we know who's going to be the start. Running back we know who's going to be the starter. Tight end we know it's going to be a starter. We know it's going to be a starter at left tackle. Also, we know those, but the other positions like the linebackers, the defensive backs, stuff like that, the right guard, left guard, we don't know who's going to start there. So it's still competition no matter if you're a starter or not. Who would say that Geno Smith can be able to AOC? Probably won't happen, but who's to say that happens? You know what I mean?
Now it's crazy because I said that last year about Minshew taking Aiden's job because I was like, "There's no way in hell Minshew would start over
didn't
that."
take his job. They gave him the job.
Well, yeah, but that was crazy because I was saying like, there's no way that Minshew would start over. You know what I mean? Like unless Aiden sucks maybe the first 4 games or so, then they might, But then I had no idea that was going to take place, and we see what happened. So,
well, I think along with that, Jason, I think to be honest with you, trying to really understand that stage of where we were, saying with the team, I think it was a lot of politics and I think politics, and I'll say this just as a phrase, politics will have you lose games. And I think that's really what happened in regards to that situation, because I was on the same boat, because I'm not just one of those guys that'll come up here and say, oh yeah, I seen him do stuff with the Colts. I seen him. Oh, he's like the Jimmy G thing. Everybody was talking about Jimmy G and saying, oh, Jimmy G's a winner. Like, nah, when you look at the tape and when you start looking at the film on both of those guys, again, I could tell both of those guys were a joke.
I'm gonna give you an example. My wife, she watched 49ers when Jimmy G was there. We watched a game they were playing against, I don't think Rams or Cardinals, one of those teams. I walked in on her watching the game, and I said, "Hey, did Jimmy G throw an interception yet?" And she said, "No, not yet." Sure enough, 3 plays later, he threw the interception.
Jimmy G
was the winner. His defense was the winner of those games. Yeah. And like I forgot who said that. Oh yeah, Dixon Sider said, "Yeah, you got to pay good money." So it was all politics, because like I said, AP didn't want to start. He didn't want to start the quarterback that got him the job in the first place. That was Aiden O'Connell. But for politics, and AP was in full control of the team. Yeah, Minshew's gonna be our starting quarterback. We're gonna go to the first start. But as soon as he got hurt, AP's like, we got our boy back. He's starting, yeah. See, you can tell by his body language. But that was politics. This regime now, I don't see the politics taking place. I don't see all that. Like Jason said, best player will be out on the field, regardless of how much we're paying you, regardless of your name in the back, regardless of where you came from.
And that's why I'm more excited about, like I said, it sounds like I'm a broken record, but that's why I'm more excited about the training camp and preseason, because of that same reason. There's really not much of politics. The guys that we know that really ain't going to be out there in preseason, they're already a given. You know what I'm saying? Max Crosby is a given. You know what I'm saying? There's a few names we know that's a given, but it's only about, like, I would say 95% of our entire roster, you know what I'm saying, is going to be out there at training camp and preseason. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be out there because there ain't no politics. And because there ain't no politics, that's competition.
Right.
And it's just work. It's just hard work. That's what's going to get you on the field. It's hard work. And I like it. You know what I mean?
That's Pete Carroll one. He said one of the guys that compete. He knows when he has a press conference, they say, well, you don't say anything. Like, I don't know yet. Nobody knows what they're going to do, who's going to start. Well, we know are the ones that we know going to start, but we don't know who else going to start. That can change. That can change the game too. It could change to another guy. You don't know. If you're not out there playing your hardest, doing your best, blocking, tackling, running, catching, you're not going to be on the field. That's simple facts. I'm not going to play you because we paying you $12 million a year. No, I'm going to play the other guy that's making $2 million a year that's making better plays than you are. That's how Pete Carroll runs. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, I was a bigger AOC supporter, and I am happy and confident to say, AOC, relax, sit down, have a seat. We got this. You know what I mean? Like I feel confident with Geno. You know what I'm saying? Just as far as what he can do, he can make the throws. You know what I'm saying? Like he has the arm talent. You know, as we throw that word around, arm talent, but.
I think again, you know, even going back to that divide there, AOC, and I've said it, and I've been on record too, you know, in the same thing. I think AOC was the better quarterback. You know, the only thing that made Minshew a little bit better was because our O-line stank so much that they needed to try to put some deodorant on it. And Minshew was that deodorant because he was somewhat more of a mobile quarterback. But if you, again, like, you know, and I've been saying this too, is on whoever is under center, you got to build. And if you build that O-line, it doesn't matter if that quarterback is a statue or if that quarterback is a mobile quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
It should, a mobile quarterback should not have, the leg should never be a need. It should just be an accessory.
Necessity, yeah, exactly. It should be like, if we need it, we can use it, but we shouldn't have to use it.
It should be a pair of earrings, not pants and a shirt. You know what I'm saying? You need pants and shirt. You know what I'm saying? But them earrings, you don't necessarily need those.
You don't have all that stuff. Yeah,
it looks good when you know what I'm saying, when you pull them out every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? And that's how that's how a mobile quarterback should be.
Yeah, because they say it's mobile quarterback. Yeah, he shouldn't have to be that way if the line can block. And another thing, like last year said about JPJ, they drafted him as a guard. He was a center through most of his college career. So why you put him in a guard? I understand they do that. Sometimes they get better training at guard, but he was a proven center in college. So they brought him as a guard. He struggled a little bit in the beginning because he really didn't play guard. Then they moved to center. What happened? Our running got better. Our pass blocking got better. So what they do? He's starting center automatically. So we know who's going to start at center. There's going to be no guessing game. No, we know who's going to start at left tackle. No guessing game. Glaze, more likely will start at right tackle. No guessing game. Only guessing game to worry about was 2 guard positions, right and left. And which they, I heard they put Mumford at, was it left guard?
Left guard.
They put him at left guard. Yeah, because that's what he played in college. He played in college, most of his college career at left guard. And then they moved tackle because the tackle got hurt. So he said, I'll play right tackle for you. So Raiders thought, hey, we drafted this guy to play right tackle. Well, yeah, but he actually was a guard. If you looked at the research, he played most of his career as a guard. He's one of the highest ranked left guards in the college days when he was playing that position. So now they put him back in his true position. Let's see how that pans out. You know. So they got a lot of decisions to make at the guard position. So I think what's his name, Miller and Glaze, pretty much got that sewn up, but one never knows. One never knows.
Yeah, I think we're, you know, again shaking that O line up, figuring out who works, and I pray, and I'm saying the word correctly. I pray that they identify by preseason who our starting 5 is.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't need to have this, you know, and I said it, you know, during that time of McDaniels, I'm tired of seeing the musical chairs, especially on our O-line. You know what I'm saying? There's something special in regards to our O line being there together and having that consistency. You know what I'm saying? Even as early as year one, because again, this is year one for this offensive line with under Pete Carroll.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
because you build up an offensive line by having consistency. Because the right tackle got to know what the right guard's going to do in this situation. If they play together for many games, they don't have to guess. They just know what it's going to do. Both sides. The center knows what his two guys on the side of him is going to do in a certain position, situation. They know they see Chris Jones coming up the middle. He knows what the right guard is going to do or left guard is going to do. But if you got guys keep changing everything, they're like, they're going to sound like lost. Like, well, what do we do, boss? Type of thing, you know? But if you play consistently, you get that feel like, I know what he's going to do. It just happens. They got to stay together for some games. They can't keep changing every 3 games. Only we do that is somebody get hurt. Of course, that's understandable. But in that, keep it consistent.
Yeah. And then the first and second time you play these teams, like say, the Chargers, Chiefs, and Broncos, first time you play, you start to learn the tendencies. The second game you play them, you're like, okay, I've watched the games and I've learned from that last time. You know what I mean? That's the parts that are important about being consistent. Because I forgot who that was that they were in for one game and then we had a whole nother lineup for the second game. So it was nothing to compare to, nothing to grow on. That consistency does matter.
Yeah. They gotta stay together through the whole season, barring injuries. They gotta play.
ASAP crazy.
I, I I hope and he was talking about Kappa. I hope that's not the politics on the O line because I've been hearing and a lot of people are I don't think he's getting his name talked about a lot, and that's Meredith. Meredith was one of the higher ranking, I'm saying, guards coming out of last year for
Yeah.
us. So it might be a situation where you know Kappa is a rotational guard, but
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see because again, that can be some politics because we know Kappa is a spy tech. You know what I'm saying? Him and spy tech was fond of Kappa. You know what I'm saying? Coming to this team.
I think Brady too, though. I think Brady kind of vouched for Kappa too, which kind of really trumped for me Spy Tech. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, this is somebody that Brady, won the title with, and had to depend on him being, what I'm saying, like his protector. So that's I'm just banking on that fact that okay, well Brady thinks he's still got a little bit in the tank, because remember, like Tom Brady dictated his front line for a long time. You know what I mean? He was very vocal about the people that he had protected him. And it was kind of he was winning championships. So really at that time, it was kind of hard to tell him no. And he was successful and he backed it up. So that's what I said. I'm hoping that he knows enough about it. And it's just like him coming off injury that's why he was, pretty much bad last season.
Yeah. Let's say he played for Cincinnati. He was hurt most of the year, but I think all the year. But like I said, football is a scheme style sport. Some players play well in certain schemes and blocking schemes and everything else. Maybe the Cincinnati scheme didn't work for him. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Plus, he was hurt. We got to see. But at least he's a veteran. He has played. He has won a championship. So he can enlighten some of these young guys on how to win a championship. Now, my boy Jeff loved that guy Caleb Rogers. I like him too. So if anything, he kept a young guy out in the professional football league to be that guard. You know, so if anything, they got experience, some vets on that line. As well as Colton Miller that can help out. The other guy was named Grant, who eventually probably will take over that left tackle position, but not this year. He's a rookie. The left tackle position, if you got a right-hand quarterback, is the most important part of that O-line to protect that quarterback blind side. So he won't start. He'll be in the preseason, of course, but he won't start. Not this year.
If we, go ahead.
Oh, good. I was saying that, but is Mills still there? They stand up. Hopefully, they do. Grant can learn. He can sit down for a couple years because they're late round draft picks, so he can sit for a couple years, a year or two, and learn. Get out there and practice. Get out there in preseason and learn. So they got to replace it for Miller because he's getting up in age. I don't know if they're going to re-sign him or not, but he's getting up there in age. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if we see Charles Grant, you know what I'm saying, during the season, we're in trouble.
Yeah, I agree.
I think, again, and I'm glad that they did what they did. I think Charles Rogers and Grant, I think those guys are the guys where, let's have them be here so that they can learn under these guys. And then, you know what I'm saying, year 2, year 3, they're in the rotation or they're solidified as, really ready to go for us. So if you see, like you said, Charles Grant, if you see Charles Grant, we in trouble.
Khalid Rogers. Oh, Charles Grant or Khalid Rogers.
Yeah.
Khalid Rogers probably have a better chance to start than Grant will because Khalid Rogers played that right guard. So guard, but I don't play offensive line, never did. Well, I did, and I was playing flag football, but it's a little different than playing tackle, So Khalid Rogers had a chance to start at right guard. Oh, here's one. They had a better chance to start at right guard than Grant has left tackle. But like I said, he still got time to learn because they got to develop. Because they do Glaze in there because Mumford got hurt, and they never look back. Glaze is one of those guys at right tackle. So hopefully we get the same thing coming out of these two guys for the future.
And it's just the roster situation too. When you look at the roster, Charles, Rogers. I keep calling him Charles Rogers. If you look at Rogers in the guard situation, it's an open competition there at guard. Well, nobody has really locked down the guard position. Tackles. We know who the tackles are. We know Colton Miller is our left tackle, and Glaze is, what I'm saying, I think he's really etched himself to be our right tackle. There's not much competition there in regards to the tackle spot, but in the guard, it's open season. Yeah. It really is for me. Even though I'm high on Meredith, it's open season.
Okay, we're just wear the flags. If we have our future left tackle already in the building, we're doing everything right. Playing for now, the future with that Genty pick too. Yeah, exactly. That's what wear flags. What they did in the offseason, what they did in the draft, is not to win now. We can win now. Now is it like you said, Twuan, on any given Sunday. But they're also playing for the future of the Raiders. For so long, we just got guys to play for this now to win. We couldn't do that. So, Eddie Wright was a flag. That's exactly what they're doing. They get these young guys in. They're getting them ready. That's why they brought some certain vets to do certain things for the young guys. They're not going to start this year. Maybe you get 1 or 2 rookies, 3. Well, we're going to start, the rookie class. But they get these other guys like, okay, you can come off the bench in certain situations to play. We belong to Chiefs, man, 45-6. Yeah, they're gonna put all the third string and second string in there. We don't need you guys in there. We beat them out. So, yeah.
And we still have Dalton Wagner, which would be a depth piece too.
He's second string right now on the right side.
Glaze, I was gonna say he would be the depth piece for Glaze.
With Dalton Wagner, just my personal opinion on it, that's good. He's the second guy at this point, but how many years has he been around? And we've been hopeful for this size and measurables to show itself. You know what I'm saying, on a week 1, week 2, week 3 basis. So hopefully he's got it this year, because I don't know how many years he's been in the basement. You know what I'm saying? And
this is third year. His first year he was hurt, and they put him on IR for the whole year.
Yeah,
to hide him from everybody else. So this is third year.
It's time for him to be on the main floor.
Yeah, exactly. It's time for him to get out there and show what he got.
Yeah. Yep. Politics. It was politics a little bit too.
No, he was hurt first year, and he was hurt, and he was on a practice squad, but they were scared that somebody was going to snatch him up, so they put him on IR just to we still can keep him. You can't. He's on IR. He's still on our team, so you can't pick him up.
No, they did the right thing on that, trying to stash him, because again, his measurables and everything else. But got to figure it out.
Yeah, he's a big kid, 6'8", 320 pounds. His problem was his feet work, but like I said, I think his foot was hurt or something. He didn't have good feet work in the second year, so we'll see how that comes. But they build for the future. They're not building just for a win now. Because in that case, if they're going to do that, they might as well pay all these free agents all that money and try to win now. Not doing that. We're not trying to buy a Super Bowl. We're going to win one. We're going to earn it. We're not going to buy a Super Bowl like some teams have done in the past.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's going to be, I can't, like I said before, I don't know if he's not watching it, but before you came in, I was saying, like, I usually watch preseason games. I watch a little bit of it, like, see, okay, this guy's doing good. This year, I won't watch preseason like I'm watching a real football game. I mean, it is real football, but I'm watching preseason like I want to see everything out there. Who's going to be out there? Who's going to make the team? Who's going to get cut? I can't wait. I can't wait till training camp start.
Yeah. And I know some people that are like that because of their routine. You know what I'm saying? I don't watch preseason. Preseason ain't like, dude, no. Like, no, you need to get out of that. That's the same thing with same thing, and I'll say this, and I might hurt some people's feelings, but there's some people within Raider Nation that will say, I don't watch other teams. It's like, how you gonna talk about the Raiders and not talk about other teams? How you gonna talk about the Raiders and not talk about their opponents and not know what their opponents do? You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta, as much as you love the Raiders, you gotta watch the entire NFL. How do you know how are we gonna beat the Bengals if you don't watch the Bengals?
Stop Joe Burrow.
You know what I'm saying? But you don't know Joe Burrow because you ain't what you, because you know what I'm saying? I'm just if you stuck in the tunnel, there's no way you're gonna know about all these other teams, right? So I'm not saying to be fans of other teams, but you got to know what the ops is doing in order to beat the ops, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch other teams, but not to extent like, the Chargers are playing the Rams in preseason. I'm not gonna sit there and analyze the Chargers too much. I'll watch the game because I like football for one thing. But I'm not gonna analyze too much. Like, they gotta stop this guy because preseason. We don't know that's gonna be their starting line when they come to regular season. Regular season, I do watch all the teams. I'll get that. What's that thing called? Red zone. Red zone. I watch every team, see what they do in the regular season. I watch preseason just like, see, okay, they got this guy. Yeah. Because preseason, one thing. Preseason, one guy can shine his ass off preseason and do all this and all that. And then when it comes to cuts, where are they? Or it come regular season, why not out there? So, but I don't watch the guys who need to play preseason, watch how they perform. Like the Porters, the Thorntons, the Becks, the Besh, those guys, even Ash Gente. I don't know if they get that many touches in preseason, but I want to see how does he react to when a real man on a football field hit him at full speed. How's his reaction? Does he get up? Does he like slowly get up off the field or off the grass, or does he pop right up and like, okay, that's all you got? I got this, type reaction.
Yeah. I with preseason for me, I try to watch as much as I can just because it is football for one, but then I'm also looking because I'm one of those guys that I'll look at the Rams and say, hey, that wide receiver, if they don't put him away, I hope Spike Tech is looking at what I'm looking at. You know what I'm saying? Or hey, you see that running back over there, you know what I'm saying, with the Vikings? I'm just saying he could be that last running back and be a solid running back for us, So I think there is for those that do dive into all of that, and that's fine. But I think there is some guys where, you can snag them, you know what I'm saying? You can put them on the practice squad and have some real good, you know what I'm saying, pieces there that some diamonds in the rough that, maybe didn't fit for another roster because their team is stacked.
Exactly,
Well, hey,
Twuan. Preach, bro. Preach, brother. Exactly what I've been saying. Preach. Because
we
they
can
might not fit that team, but they sure fit our team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I don't be, if you ain't got no time, you know what I'm saying? If you bored, you know what I'm saying, and go ahead and watch that Cardinals and Dolphins preseason game, and you might see something you might like.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Was a good thing about what the Raiders did. Hold on a minute. Let me pull his name up. The good thing the Raiders did this offseason. People fail to realize what they did. Let me pull him up. Hold on a minute. Let me get his name.
Or whoever's playing in preseason. I was just throwing a random team out there.
No.
But don't get on Raider Twuan because I don't have the schedule, you know what I'm saying, right in front of me. But
we don't. Yeah.
Any team on whatever day, go ahead and catch that game.
You know who we got as far as our administrative, the guys on top. You know what we brought in? Brandon Hunt. For those who know who he was the head scout and administrator for the world champion Philadelphia Eagles. I don't like saying that, but that's who he is.
Yeah, I was like, I thought we got the Eagles guy. I didn't know what his I didn't know what his name was, but I knew that we pulled a guy from the Eagles organization.
He's a vice president of player personnel. That means he's a vice president of all the scouts. And we had a talk with one guy a couple weeks ago about that. Well, he's on scout college. Yeah, he do that, but also he scouts the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Well, other players, he'll watch. He'll sit there and send his crew out there and watch the preseason games and see these guys like, and they cut him. You get on the phone, hey Pete, Smart Tech, guess what? They just cut this dude. Don't we need one of the guys? Yeah, bring him in. Boom. That's what he's gonna do. He might see another running back out there. He might see another cornerback out there. He might see another linebacker out there. That team doesn't fit their system. And what are you gonna do? Call them up, say, bring them in. And according to what's going on, I think Philadelphia won a championship this past year, and Philadelphia draft well and it drafts really well. They pick up players really well, and he's part of that reason.
And again, like we talk about politics, but there's clearly politics with all these other teams. Let's say Jason is an undrafted. You know what I'm saying? What position you want to play, Jason? I'll let you do that.
Let's go safety.
Okay, he's an undrafted safety, right? He goes out there in preseason and balls out, right? What team do you want to be on preseason?
Raiders.
No, you can't do that.
No, you can't do the Raiders, dude.
Then I retire. I'm good. I don't want to be in the league.
you got to because I'm bringing you to the Raiders later on. So
pick a team.
Pick a team.
I would say the Carolina Panthers.
Okay, so he's a safety for, you know what I'm saying, an undrafted safety for the Carolina Panthers during preseason. He balls out, okay? But when it comes down to cuts and they look at their roster and they say, hey, we got a all-pro safety already on the roster, and we just drafted a safety at number 1 in the last draft.
I mean, that sounds like it's them problem.
It looks like they ain't got room for Jason, right?
Right.
But he balled out in preseason. So the Raiders is looking and saying, hey, you know that Jason guy over there in Carolina, I think he can come over here and shake some things up in that safety room for us. I'm not too happy with Chris Smith. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too happy with, you know what I'm saying, the other safeties in this room. Let's go ahead and bring Jason out because he balled out in Carolina, and I think he can fit over here. And that's how preseason is. So, you know, there's some guys that they ball out, but politic-wise, a team ain't gonna cut their number 1 pick that they just, you know what I'm saying, they just drafted.
Yeah, you don't cut their first 4-round picks. So you don't cut those guys usually. Yeah. After that, then it's anybody.
Who knows where that undrafted or even some, you know, even a late round guy that was drafted for them balls out, but then they really ain't got room for that guy.
Mm-hmm. And that's where this player personnel guys come in. He'll go out there and see that, like. You know, because then Pete will say, you know, I like that guy from Minnesota, that safety from Minnesota, man. He fits my profile. Go look at him. You'll go out and look at him, and you think he'll make the team? I don't think so. They might cut him. Get on the wire. As soon as they cut him, bring him in. You know, that's how it has. That's funny because basically preseason is an audition for the draft picks. 2nd round, 3rd round, everybody else. 2nd-year players, 3rd-year players who are trying to make the team, and UDFAs. It's an audition to make the team because it's 91 people on team. They got to cut 30, is it 53? They got to cut 38 people. No, 53. Yeah, they got to cut 38 people off the roster. That's a lot of players. So they got to get it right.
Yeah. And even further, you don't forget the pedigree, right? Let's just and let's go with Jason. Name a college. Jason.
Cal.
Good college, man. I'm telling you, people don't sleep. You know, people be sleeping on Cal players, okay? But let's go with Cal, okay? He's a safety out of Cal, and you know what? Let's just say that our defensive coordinator, you know what I'm saying, knows the coach, that the defensive coach over there at Cal, and they run the similar defense, right? That works perfectly for some, right? Like, and that's where, hey, we run cover 3 here, and Cal runs cover 3. So that means when Jason comes over, you know what I'm saying, there might be some words that are different, but the motions are pretty much the same. So that means he has a better learning curve. You know what I'm saying? He's already a step up in the game, and he barely put on the silver and black. So you got some of that going on even in preseason, where there's a guy all the way in Carolina or a guy all the way in Wisconsin that's running the same system or a similar system to what we're trying to do here.
Hey, Ray, man.
That guy.
Appreciate you. Yeah, but you know, we got to look at the what they're doing now is getting these players. They not only look at their physical attributes, because these guys are athletes, you know, they can do these things. They're also looking at their mentality. They're looking at, okay, Jason, hey, dude, you're a hell of a football player, dude, but you're not really up here all the way upstairs. Can we trust you to run this team for us? Can we trust you to be that guy? They're looking at all that stuff. So when the head coach sends those guys out there, they're gonna give them a list of things to look for. Can he play football? Yeah, that checks off. That's why they're playing. Can he understand the concepts? Yeah, they can look at all those things. Is he stable?
I mean, but what is stable? You know, what is stable?
Stable is not beat up your wife. That's what stable is. You know, not doing stupid things off the field and on the field. That's stability. Because like I said, why am I gonna pay you, Jason? Why am I pay you $3 million a year in your rookie year, man? You go home, man, and get drunk and beat the shit out your neighbors and wife. I didn't pay you for that. I paid you to play football.
Neighbors.
What's your own time is your own business. But if you're doing that stuff, that means you're gonna be in jail. That means I'm paying $3 for nothing. I can save that money and get another player in your spot. That's what you're looking for, the mentality of it all.
Yeah. Yeah, or threatening people on the internet. You know.
Yeah, exactly. That's Arnett. That's the Arnett guy. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. These Madden games do get intense sometimes, but you know, I'm just saying, if you know, you know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Got that blinky. Oh man.
Well, you know, it's gonna be all good. And I did watch Mr. 805 today. He made some good points on his show about the Christian Wilkins. I won't go into too much details because I'm beating a hammer with that. Enough is enough. We'll see what season start, what's gonna happen. We'll wait, but if you don't get a chance to watch 805, his show about what's coming up, great show. Appreciate it. And 805, I'm gonna send you another invite, dude, for next week's show. So you got to come on.
We're big fans here at the Sunday Morning Pillaging Show at 805. So please come through next Sunday. You know what I'm saying?
We will be a featured guest.
Yes, we need to lock you in, definitely.
But anyway, send me a Instagram post. I'll send you one too. But anyway, time is almost 3 hours. Raider Twuan, what you got going on coming up?
Man, I got actually a few things coming up. I have a player that a lot of people I think people are not giving him the respect that he needs. And I will be talking about that most likely Tuesday. If you guys, I got to work on the thumbnail today, so the thumbnail might be out by the end of tonight for Tuesday's show, and then I will be putting a live together, probably most likely next week. Of this day, so actually on Sunday, because the 27th is actually when I did my first live. Okay. So I will be actually going into season 3 of Raider Twuan. That means I've been doing at least, this is my second year going into my third year of doing Raiders content. So I will be doing kind of like an anniversary live for that. It didn't dawn onto me because I actually went onto my my StreamYard and started looking at my my old lives, and I didn't delete my first official live. And I looked at the date and I was like, oh wow. So yeah, July 27th is when I started started doing YouTube. So I will be doing a thank you. I will be doing a live Sunday. I don't know what time because I still got to take care of some business early in the morning for myself. But I will be doing a live for that. I know there's people that have been doing Raider content longer than I have. I know, and anything like that. It's not like I'm trying to boast or brag on that, but I do like to celebrate my successes, along the way, big or small. So, the 27th is the date. for that. So at least definitely those two lives, but stay tuned because I'm kind of working my way up into the regular season where I will be pretty much at you almost every day, if not every other day. So yeah, so Tuesday for sure, and then I might do something maybe Thursday, but Sunday I will be having a live for that, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna have like special guests where I just have invite only guests come up or whatever, but it might just be an open panel. We'll see how I feel about it coming up to that, but stay tuned for those Tuesday and Thursday for sure on Raider Twuan.
Also, I'm always available. I'm one of those guys that I'm on parent vacation. But anyway, before I ask Jason, we got coming up, I got to make sure I make this announcement. Today, one of our people from Red Nation, Mr. Robert Pena, today lost his auntie. She had a stroke, then she had a heart attack, and she passed. She's no longer with us. So I want everybody to send a prayer. When he comes back to us, make sure you ask him some condolences. Make sure you see if we need anything, because Red Nation, we are a family. We care about everybody in our family. She might have been in charge of it. I don't know. I don't know anything about the lady, but she's no longer with us. So let's everybody send a prayer to our opinion and his family about his loss today. All right, Jason.
Thank you. Thank you, 805. For sure. We'll lock you in whenever possible. We got you. And yes, salute to Robert Pena and his family.
Yeah, this show's dedicated to that. So what we got going, Jason? What you got going on?
Yeah, man. Tonight, anybody that this is part 2 of our trauma series. We will have a couple special guests on tonight. And we're just here to, it's healing for us, but it's also healing for those that can't speak on it, talk about it, and that are dealing with it. You know what I mean? Like, we have all been through different things of many kinds. And as we share, we hope it makes it easier for you guys to one day share and help others as well too. So fellas night out, we're real man talk, It's okay to talk about things. I know, for a lot of us, it's uncomfortable to talk about things, but for us to reach others and be able to help others, we have to talk through it to get to it, So fellas night out tonight at 8 p.m.
I'm sorry. Also, you guys know that I consider myself to be the chaplain of the nation. So if there's anything, again, if you guys, because again, I don't know everything because I'm not, hawking everybody's business, you know what I'm saying? But if there's something that please send it my way. So I definitely can be, like right now, like as soon as I get off this live, I'm gonna be reaching out to Rob. But if there's anything that comes up, definitely I'm here for it to support anybody within Raider Nation. The best that I can.
Right.
So please reach out to me.
That's all you can do. Because like I said, when he broke the news up, our challenge kind of went to a pause, and we was kind of didn't know what to do, shell shock. But I hope she lived a good life. It's hard losing a loved one. Period. It eventually going to happen. Unfortunately, we're humans. We don't live forever, but it's still hard to lose somebody that's part of your family or a friend that been in your life for a long time. So, like I said, condolences. And I feel bad for him, but you know what? She's resting in paradise right now. With that being said, this show is dedicated to Robert Pena. The whole show dedicated to him and his family. Let you guys know that. Tonight I'm gonna try to be on with Jason, depending on how I feel about this cooking these beef ribs tonight. Got smoking for 6 hours, and they only grill right now. I gotta watch them. Now let's see what happens. Jason, you still got your plate here, man. Right now it's growing to a tree. It has green peach fuzz on it. I'm waiting for they come down and get it.
Hey, I'm gonna have a stack of plates in the freezer, in the deep freeze.
Your plate right now, I say for you, man, has ingrown penicillin, so you know you can eat and get healthy at the same time.
Yeah, man, hey, you
But
the master chef, so I know more to come.
not really. I like eating good and have food that tastes good. That's all I am. So anyway, we got a show coming up Tuesday between me, Jason, and also our boy Chewy called Cover 3 Tuesdays. Time might change. We don't know. We got to discuss that matter, but it's going to be after 6 at least minimum because those who guys work, I don't. So it'll be after 6. We're going to set a time for it, but that'll be a Tuesday night. It's called the Cover 3. No pull-ups, no anybody, just us three talking. And then after that, whatever happens. So stay tuned for that.
Hey, Jason, can you do me a favor?
What's that?
Can you send the StreamYard link to Chewy, and then so I could talk to him backstage? He don't got to be on the show. I just need to talk to him backstage.
Actually, we're all gonna meet backstage. Actually, after this,
You can stay in. You can stay in.
Yeah, because I've been trying to get a hold of him for some stuff, but we'll
Chewy don't do Instagram and stuff. They do text messages. So yeah, Chewy, we're gonna end the show in about 2 minutes. So you can pop in. We're gonna end it. Anything else, guys?
I'm gonna just say one thing. So I see this, the touchdown celebrations and stuff like that, right? So Detroit always does like the sick ass celebrations or whatever. So I'm guessing which one is going to be the first celebration. So if you guys know about the kid that does the boat, that's on the boat, and he does the, I swear, that's what I feel like they're going to do. That's the celebration they're going to pull off for the first touchdown. So we'll see.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of seeing on that, I wonder who Las Vegas have on the first, or for the Raider that scored the first touchdown in the first game. You know what I'm talking about? The Vegas bets on everything. They bet on what eye the ball that my flag gonna land on. But I wonder who they got as the first person to get a touchdown, catch or run, or pick six.
Zamir White.
Zamir White, probably odds are like 20,000 to 1, so pay $1 get
20,000. Exactly. That's how they do it, though. You know what I mean?
I'll put $10 on it. You know what I'm saying?
I'll put $5 on that. What? Well, Chris, congratulations! You're our first new
because of course, everyone's gonna say Genty or the money, follow the money.
It ain't gonna hurt you if you put $10 on it. I'm just saying.
Wouldn't it be funny if they put Pegasus in there and they gave him an end around and he scored the first touchdown?
That'd be crazy. And nobody but whoever told them to run that play would get money off that.
Well, he's outside blocking like a tight end. And all of a sudden, they had Geno Smith was fake handoff and get the Pegasus and he ran for a touchdown. The first one. That'd be great. Wow. Preseason, but anyway. All right, guys. You know what? It's been a great show. Twuan, thanks for coming in. Always appreciate Twuan. You know I'm available all the time. Just send me the IG. Wherever you want me. Jason, dude. I'll see you tonight and Tuesday, but it's always a pleasure.
Always.
Okay.
And we out, y'all.
Bye.
Yeah. Appreciate everybody.
Go Raiders.
Yes, sir. And rest in paradise to
Robert Pinzon.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
It's the Sunday morning pillages show.